Okay, so this is my second take at this. I just did like the first 5 minutes and got through Giga Cannon, and it turns out that I had my mic muted. Oops. So let's try this again. So yeah, as a brief introduction, I did a couple tier lists a couple years ago for all the standard chips in BN6, and then one for the megas and gigas. So this is basically a follow-up to that. Gonna go over all the PAs. In the future, I might do one for stuff like patch cards or Navi customizer parts. But for tonight, we're doing PAs. And so, yeah, to get back to this, oh, and yeah, welcome to the chat, Fuse Hunter and Raging Potato. Let me know if the audio is good. I got this this BCC music here, so I hope it's not too loud over my microphone. But yeah, so as we can see here, I added an F tier, F for it sucks, but it's at least fun in random battles. Although, you know, only us VBA Link veterans know about random battles, since sadly they're not in Tango or the Legacy collection, but excuse me. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Wow, this is already off to a great start. But yeah, Giga Cannons 1 and 2 are obviously they're F tier. Like, there's no reason to use them over Giga Cannon 3, because Giga Cannon 1 is only 300 damage, Giga Cannon 2 is 400. Meanwhile, Giga Cannon 3 is 500 damage. And Giga Cannon actually got a nice buff in BN6 from 4 and 5. In 4 and 5, Giga Cannon only had the exact same range as a normal cannon. But in 6, it if it lands, it explodes all the panels around it. So I guess you could use it with stuff like VDOL if you really wanted to cook. But more importantly than that, it's actually basically kind of like a Giga tank cannon, because even if it misses, it will explode the back 2 golems. So it actually has a pretty good range, and I mean 500 damage isn't bad. If you use it with humor, that would be 1,000. That said, there's still better PAs to use. So I'm gonna put Giga Cannon 3. I guess I originally had it in D, but it's not really that bad, so I guess I'll put it in C. Next we get to Wide Burn, and honestly for these types of PAs, oh hey Honor Knight, yeah, C for Giga Cannon 3 seems alright. So for a lot of these PAs that have like 3 versions, like there's not really any version to use the first 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and also put Wide Burn 1 and 2 in the F tier. Wide Burner 3 though, so the way Wide Burner works is it basically has the same range as like Heat Beast charge. It hits like the panel directly ahead of you, and then like 2 and 3 columns ahead of you, it hits all 3 rows. So yeah, it's got like that gospel breath range basically. It cracks all those panels just like the normal Fireburn chip, and it only does 400 damage, but it is it does do fire element damage. It's not actually fire element. All the PAs are what we call null 2, which, I guess I'll explain it. It's basically a separate element that they added just for PAs that makes it so that you can't you can't boost them with crosses or anything. But since wide burn does fire damage, it does still decross tomahawk, and more importantly, it does double damage on grass panels. So it has a pretty good range, and the potential to do 800 damage with a grass panel setup, and also it cracks almost their entire area. Yeah, Honor Knight, you read my mind. I'm going with a B for wide burner. And that actually brings us to our other PA, that being Flame Hook. And this is an interesting one. It's similar to Big Hook, only instead of Big Hook, it will actually Big Hook just always targets the initial enemy 3x3, but Flame Hook will actually target it right in front of you. So it's actually that makes its range actually a lot more useful compared to Big Hook. Just like it's very similar to Wide Burner. It also does a 400, and so it can do 800 on grass. It comes out fast. It could really punish tomahawk. The difference is that it has it's actually technically 2 hits. But since it causes flashing with the first hit, it's very hard to get the second hit to land. You need to either counter hit or use it with the Elect Cross charge glitch, or a perfectly timed flash bomb if you're a god. It also doesn't get stopped by holes, unlike the next PA we'll be discussing, Power Wave. So I'm actually not sure if Flame Hook 3 should go in B or maybe even A. It might be like a low A. The main thing Wide Burner has is that it also breaks their area, but honestly, other than that, Flame Hook's actually better. I think I'll put it above Wide Burner in a B. And so next up we get to Power Wave. And this is a good one. Fuse Hunter. Both fire PAs are actually not bad. It's because of the fact that you could use them with both humor and grass panel setup, and that would be like 1600 damage. They for soup PAs, they really are pretty strong. And so is this next one, Power Wave. Power Wave 3 does 600 damage, and it basically just goes down the entire field. You could use it with humor and a VDOL setup to do 2400 damage. The big problem with it is that it gets completely stopped by holes. But the fact that it has such a high base damage, and that without holes it hits the entire field. And the really scary thing about Power Wave is just like Flame Hook 3, it's very tough to pull off. But it actually, if you get it counter hit or something crazy with it, it could also potentially hit twice, which if it does with no other boost, that would already be 1200 damage. The only real problem with it is that it is completely blocked by holes, but Power Wave 3 is very good. It is, in my opinion, probably the best soup PA in the game, and for that reason, I will actually put it in A tier. And so, oh boy, next up we get to everyone's favorite, Chord Fiesta. And so yeah, basically this one is a lot of RNG. Yeah, everyone's favorite corn fiesta. So this one's a lot of RNG. I should have probably pulled up how it actually works for this, but I'm very professional, so I didn't. So I will say one thing about corn fiesta is don't use it if you have a +2 area. Do not use it when you're at +2 area. It will just do nothing. You won't get some super high amount of hits with it. It will literally do nothing. It happened to me, and I was very sad. But yeah, basically it's just RNG. It could sometimes only do like a few hits and do barely any damage. Sometimes it does tons of hits and does tons of damage, especially if you use it with humor. You might be noticing, but yes, most of these PAs, they're null too, as I mentioned earlier, so they can't be boosted by crosses, but they are affected by if you have a full synchro or anger. So these kind of big soup PAs are like best used with emotion bug. Yeah, Honor Knight's posting in chat for those on YouTube. Maybe I should just include the chat in this video. Yeah, you know what? I will add the chat. Why not? Why not? Let's see. Okay, yeah, we have the chat here now. And yeah, so Honor Knight has very kindly posted the copy pasta of how Corn Fiesta works. So yeah, if anyone wants to see the actual logic for the RNG on it, you can read that. Thank you, Honor Knight. Corn Fiesta is also very funny in EXE6, the Japanese version, because it can actually be boosted if you place Otenko. It can be boosted up to another +50. So yeah. With all that said, like the fact that it has all this extra RNG and stuff on top of already being a soup PA, I think I'll put it in B tier, but below the two fire PAs. Next up is a Parashell, and this one is not very good. I think I will very generously place it in D tier. The reason is it's basically just a much worse power wave. It goes like, it sends down iron shells down all 3 rows, but they actually they stop in the 5th column. Yeah, but no, I'm being very nice to Parashell by not just putting it in F. But yeah, so it sends down iron shells in all 3 rows. It is 350 base damage, but it does if it hits, it will like multi-hit. So, but the problem is it doesn't hit the back column at all, and it gets stopped by holes. Like, it's not even really that good in random battles most of the time, because you would just camp in the back. So I mean, there are times where it works and it's very funny, but yeah. Oh right, Das, nice art. Yeah, so originally yeah, I forgot to mention this since I had to do the second take, but since there's no official art of the PAs, I was gonna make art for them myself in Microsoft Paint at the start of this stream. But I think it was Nexa earlier made this actually very nice PA template. So I'm just using that instead. But it would be funny to do Microsoft Paint art of the PA, so I'll still probably do that sometime. Anyways, moving on to Destroy Pulse. For all those of you familiar with BN6, it's probably not much of a surprise where this thing is going to go. It's terrible. It goes at the bottom of F tier. Yeah, no, I'm joking. It goes in S tier. So yeah, Destroy Pulse. Will this be quick? There's quite a bit to explain with it. So yeah, it's formed with a Elect Pulse 1, 2, and 3 in J code. Actually, yeah, it's the first monocode PA, so that already helps it that you can use it with other chips. But basically, it does 400 damage. It inflicts a super long blind. I think it's over 1,000 frames. It inflicts custom HP drain. It's the only way to actually get custom HP drain in BN6. Maybe Bug Bomb can also do it, but no one ever uses Bug Bomb. It inflicts paralysis, and it also inflicts like a normal battle HP bug. And the craziest part of it is that it will actually even pierce through Tomahawk Cross's status guard. And yeah, no, this PA is like a big part of why you would run a J code folder, along with obviously having Hub Batch, Recuv 300, and Judgeman SP on code. And oh, my Battle Chip Challenge song ended. Let's see here. But yeah, so Destroy Pulse goes in S. It comes out instantly. You can combo into it with like another copy of Elect Pulse 2 and Windrack. So yeah, it's just really good. Moving on, we now have Time Bomb Plus. Oh boy, where am I going to rank this? I have no idea. So Time Bomb Plus, it does a massive 700 damage. But yeah, it spawns a big Time Bomb. It does have a lot more HP than a normal Time Bomb. I forget exactly how much. It might be like 150 or something. But like, it's still pretty easy to destroy it in those 3 seconds most of the time. Like, and it would be a lot better actually, because it's a soup PA. It would be a lot better if you, and I wish you could, if you could do Time Bomb Plus by using like Time Bomb 1, 2, and 3. But sadly you can't. You have to use like Time Bomb 2 and like all 3 codes or whatever. Now the other funny thing. Alright, see you, Honor Knight. The other funny thing about Time Bomb Plus is the way that it works with the slash cross charge glitch. And explaining the slash cross charge glitch is outside of the scope of this video. But pretty much slash glitch Time Bomb Plus becomes a step cross slash sonic boom, and it works the same way as like the Neo Vari cross slash, right? So if you get them with in the middle with both hits, it's actually 2 hits of 700 damage for 1400 damage, which is obviously a lot. So it's kind of a meme. Like, you would need so much setup to land that in PvP, but also, oh man, imagine if you got a Tengu cross with it. So based on that, I'm going to put it in, ooh, is it C tier? It's such a meme. Yeah, I'm putting it in C tier. I'm being nice to it. Oh boy, Streamhead. Oh, this is another funny one. Oh my god, I actually did make a Streamhead build once. So the way Streamhead works is it fires 5 aura heads down your row that each do 150 damage. So the way aura head works in 6 is it does an extra 50 damage if you use it when you have a barrier up. And that also applies to Streamhead. So if you use it while you have a barrier up, it would then do 5 hits of 200 damage for 1,000 damage. And actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Streamhead, it should be break element. So I guess you could nuke a slash cross with it even harder than Meaty or Knuckle would, which is funny. But like, it's a soup PA. It's only a line nuke. Like, I did make a folder once that actually did do like a get on into Streamhead on the next turn. And one wiki says it's pseudo break. Huh. Well, that would be really stupid if it was. If it didn't even decross slash. If it, that's actually important. If it's only pseudo break, I'm putting it in a lower tier. But if I put Time Bomb Plus in C tier, then I'm also putting this thing in C tier. It's like bad, but it's not as bad as Parashell. Alright, next we get into Super Spread, the wide shot PA. So this does 3 shots, each of 150 damage. They are like super piercing, because a normal wide shot isn't piercing. Like, if it hits a rock cube, it would get stopped. But I think this is like dark wide shot in 5. Mars, I will do the MS Paint PA art another time. Maybe like maybe not this weekend, but next weekend. That will still be happening. The PA art stream will be happening, just not tonight. Yeah, if we were ranking this just off of standard BN6 US, I would put Super Spread in D tier. But it actually does have a slight niche in patch cards. Honestly, I kind of want to try making a build with this at some point. No, it is not chargeable with Aqua Cross because it's null 2. You'd have to use it with Humor. But this does have a slight niche in patch cards actually, which is that like almost all builds are either like over half of the builds have heat body because of Totem, which means that their base Mega Man is a fire element. So you could theoretically use a Super Spreader with Humor to really heavily punish like all these Totem heat body builds. It can do 1,800 damage to them. And so if this was just based on standard BN6, like this thing is not strong enough for a soup PA. Like, this does 450 damage. Meanwhile, this does like 600. But because of it actually having a niche in patch cards, I'll put it in honestly, maybe at the top of C tier. Yeah, no, that's the problem, Das, is that this does 450 damage, but you could just use Spoutman SP, which does 360 damage. It's only 90 less, but for 1 chip. But using it in patch cards to punish Fire Body would still be pretty funny, you gotta admit. Oh boy, we actually have another D tier PA, Hyperburst. But yeah, Hyperburst is pretty bad because it's a soup PA. Once again, if it was monocode and you can boost it with double point, it would actually be pretty OP. But basically, it does like 10 hits or something and paralyzes. But so the reason why I put Giga Cannon in C tier is it's like tank cannon. If it doesn't hit anything, it still explodes their back two columns. Hyperburst, if it doesn't hit, it basically just does nothing. And like, yeah, it can't really be boosted. Actually, I wonder if it could be boosted by Biotenko, like Corn Fiesta. That would actually be really funny. And you know what? Just because of that, I'm gonna put it above Parashell and Decode. Ooh, and now we get to Life Sword. This is a controversial one. So it's 3 very weak sword chips for only 400 damage. It only has that 2x3 range, and the thing about the 2x3 range is, like, normally it's pretty good, but for a PA it's not. Like, let's look at the range of the other PAs. This is good because it hits the entire field in front of it. This has the full Gospel Breath range. This has a better Big Hook range. This hits like the 3x3 ahead of it, and also sometimes I think the panel's directly above and below you. This I just explained. This explodes the entire enemy field. This thing's bad. This hits the entire field. And this hits the entire field except their back column. So compared to all that, Life Sword only having the 2x3 range isn't that good. And this is a game where Neo Variable and Muramasa both exist. Muramasa, which can do 500 damage by itself, 100 more than this, and Neo Vari, which can do like 440 damage. But yes, you can use this all in a asterisk code. You can really BM and attach uninstall to it. It would still do 800 damage to Tengu, which is pretty good. But, like, I will put it at the top of C tier. I think that's a fair place for it, alright? If I wanted to meme, I'd put it in D or F, but it's not actually that bad. So I think at the top of C tier for Life Sword. Next we get to a Great Yo-Yo. I think that will go at the top of B tier, actually. It's very similar to Power Wave, only it's a multi-hit. It doesn't do quite as much damage. Like, you can't use it with V-Doll since it's multi-hit, but it goes over holes. It basically just goes down, fires like 3 yo-yos down each row, and then does like 5 hits of 100 damage or something. It should still be a secondary sword, I guess, so it could decross Tengu, which would be funny. But it is kind of just like a worse Power Wave. But I mean, it is very cool. Like, I do like Great Yo-Yo. I know people like Soul are also big fans of it. So yeah. What anime is this? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I would play JoJo music, but I'm afraid I'd get a copyright strike or something. Oh boy, Pit Hockey. I hate to do this, but I think it's going in D tier. Because I'm pretty sure it's literally better to just like spam individual air hockeys. Yeah, no, pit hockey is actually worse than just using 3 air hockeys. Like, and yeah, it is completely allergic to holes. It basically needs the opponent to be uninstalled to not have their super armor. It is just not good, honestly. Yeah. No, it is fun in random battles, though. Yeah, I think I have to put it in F tier. I don't know if it can even go in D tier. Yeah, I hate to do this. Like, I wish it was better. But yeah, I think F tier for pit hockey. No, but that's the thing. It's not even really that good in single damage. Oh yeah, that is true, Antitas. I think that's who Stray Sign Wave is, right? Antitas? Yeah, no, if you got hit by pit hockey, that would be massive psychological damage. That would be like worse than getting hit by Big Hook. But yeah, that's not enough. And actually, you know what? That is enough. Like, that actually might be like one of the most disrespectful things you could ever do to someone would be to delete them with pit hockey. But no, I can't put it even in D tier. Top of F, alright, yeah, I wasn't really ordering F tier, but sure, I'll at least put it at the top of F. And next, we get to Poison Fair. How long have I been live for? Already half an hour. But we are almost done, thankfully. So, if this was any of the previous games, Poison Pharaoh would be right here in S plus tier. But in after being dominating the meta for 5 games in a row, they finally nerfed Poison Pharaoh in 6. And they nerfed it pretty hard, so it doesn't just fall to A, it doesn't just fall to B, it falls all the way to C tier. So it's still very strong. It still makes the opponent lose 1 HP every frame, so 60 HP a second. It can do a huge amount of damage in 1 slow gauge turn. But there's a multiple nerfs. It now only has 100 HP instead of the 300 HP it had before. So if you are a base Mega Man with attack 5, it would only take 2 charge shots to destroy Anubis. Any Gregor Cross can destroy it in 1 shot. Also, Dusk Cross exists. But it is even worse than that, because in BN6, Anubis and Poison Pharaoh were nerfed so hard that they no longer even pierce Invis. So if the opponent uses Invis, they will take no damage from the Poison Pharaoh until the Invis wears off. But if you get it set up in the back row, it is still a win condition. It still has the potential to be really strong. And that's why I'm putting it at the top of C tier and not D tier or the bottom of C tier. So next up we get to Bodyguard, and oh boy, I am not really sure where to rank this. So this one has the thing about Bodyguard is individually its components are all very good, right? It's anti-damage, anti-sword, anti-navi. So it's most of the time it's better to use them individually. And so a change for a Bodyguard in BN6. No, Bodyguard is not going in A. First of all, in BN2 and 3, Bodyguard was insane because it, instead of 10 shurikens, it threw 18 shurikens that all did 100 damage, so it was insane. But the thing about it that was changed in 6 is that it works like an actual trap. It doesn't, like in the other games, it just activates and starts throwing the stars instantly. Whereas in 6, you can lose your entire bodyguard to a cursor chip. It will just destroy bodyguard without it ever going off. And the other thing is that you need to use like bodyguard with a white capsule so that it will paralyze them. But I mean, that said, it is like Life Sword. It is all an asterisk code, and it could do like up to 1,000 damage. And so for that reason, I will put Bodyguard in B tier. Though what I'm really not sure about is if it goes at the top of B or the bottom of T. It definitely goes in B. B for Bodyguard. I don't know, what is the chat thing? Should it go at the top or bottom of B? Like, it sucks, but it's not that bad. Like, yeah, it's not better than Corn. It might be better than Corn. Maybe I'll put it, like, here, behind Great Yo-Yo. And so, next we get to, Double Hero. And you know what, I'm thinking, D for Double Hero, or maybe it's a low C. So the problem, right, is it's a Wide Blade B, Long Blade B, Proto Man SP B. The problem is it's all null damage. It won't even decross Tengu. It can't be boosted at all, I don't think. It's just always like 10 hits of 60 damage or whatever, but I don't think even Otenko can boost it. So, like, it's just not good. I'm not even sure if Emotion Bug would boost it. So, you know what? Yeah, I think it goes at the top of D. It's at least not as bad as Hyper Burst or Parashell. Yeah, if it did Sword, it would be a lot better. And next we get to Darkness. So, Darkness is Vidal, and then either Base or Base Anomaly. And, so Darkness is 2 hits of 300 damage for a total of 600. Meanwhile, Base Anomaly by itself does 640. This PA does 40 damage less than one of its components. That's pathetic. Now, the good thing about it, also the other problem with Darkness is the second hit isn't a sword. Like, so the way it works is the first hit's the Gospel Breath, and that actually is fire. So it will decross Tomahawk and do double damage on grass. And yes, it can boost Lil Boiler to like 1,000 damage, and you get the Uvu hot coffee combo. But it's so bad. But it's at least better than Double Hero, because it would be a lot better if the second hit was actually sword. But I'm thinking the bottom of C tier for Darkness is fair. You know what, honestly, I gotta move Streamhead down to D tier. It really depends. Is Streamhead actually break? Can someone, like, I should go test it and use it on a Slashman and see if it works. Like, if it's break, it's in C. If it's not break, it's in D. Also, yeah. It's pseudo break. Okay, it's D tier. Get out of here, Streamhead. If it doesn't actually nuke Slash, like, why even bother? Yeah, no, Darkness is a low C. It does have enough potential that I'd say it's higher than D. even though D for darkness would be funny. But like the fact that unboosted, it does less damage than just using base anomaly is so sad. Yeah, no, Antitas, I did make a stream head folder once, and I did get people with the 1000 damage stream head setup. It's really funny. That's why it's at the top of D. But yeah, moving on, we get a Master Cross. And sadly, this is another D tier. It is kind of funny that Nexit just used the hub batch for the picture. I wasn't actually sure what this was. But yeah, Master Cross is a reference to Master Style. It uses 4 chips in A code. It's the only PA in this game that uses 4 chips. It's a Fire Hit 3, Aqua Needle 3, Elect Pulse 3, and Risky Honey 3. It's only 10 hits of 60 damage. It does half of that if the opponent's in the back row. It loses the holes, but it's so cool. And it's actually different on depending on if your falls are Gregor, which is so cool having a PA that's different based on which version you're on. But you know, sadly, like it is so cool. It is probably the coolest PA in the game. But you know, sadly, this tier list is based on how good they actually are, not how cool they are. I think it actually can decross though. Like depending on which version you're using. And so for that reason, I guess it's better than Double Hero. And so next we get to Sun Moon. And this is an interesting one. So it's like the Red Sun and Blue Moon Giga Chips from BN4. So the Blue Moon Laser does Invis Pierce and uninstall. It's in R code. The components are Meteors, attack plus 30, and uninstall. The problem is it basically has like that mini bomb or circus man range, except for the final explosion, which also cracks all the panels that like hits in a 3x3 range. But thankfully in R code you have Bubble Star 3, so you can try to bubble them to confirm Sun Moon. I think in total, if all the hits land, it should do about 700 damage, right? Because it fires off the 5 meteors at first, which are fire element, by the way. So it does 1,000 damage to Tomahawk Cross. So yeah, the meteors do 300, and then the Blue Moon Laser and the Final Crash each do 200. The wow, Streamhead really is null pseudo, so it doesn't even nuke slash. That's so sad. Yeah, that's the thing about Sun Moon. It's the same thing as Bodyguard, right? Where the individual components are good, and that's actually kind of a problem with it too, because like you can get a lot more value out of the attack plus 30 if you use it with like a tornado or something than using it with the PA. But I think overall, like Sun Moon, it's still like really not that good. Like, yeah, like it like Sun Moon is good and bad at the same time. Because like its range is a big issue, but like, you know, the fact that it like uninstalls them and cracks their entire area. Like when Sun Moon actually does land, it's so good. And the fact that like top of B, yeah, I'm not sure. Like what I feel like I should do. Oops, not that. Like, yeah, like like Sun Moon isn't bad, but like, yeah, Sun Moon and Power Wave 3 are not like, they are at least 2 tiers below Destroy Pulse, not 1 tier below it. But yeah, I think A is fair for Sun Moon. And next we get to Twin Leaders. Does Twin Leaders actually do sword damage? Will it at least kill Tengu Cross? You know what? I'm gonna put it in a C for Colonel because I'm nice. Yeah, I've been going for 46 minutes. It's null. Okay, I'm putting it in a D tier for Divide. Yeah, that's even worse than a Double Hero. So for anyone who's played BN5 and used the Leaders raid chip in BN5, that's what Twin Leaders is. Basically, Colonel does his big cross slash, and then Protoman slashes them. And yeah, it needs 2 megas and anti-navi. You know what? Pit hockey is at least, I think, pit hockey's break, right? Like pit hockey would decross slash, right? Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that. Like, yeah, sorry, Twin Leaders, you suck. And that brings us to our last PA. And the funny thing about this PA is it's not actually exclusive to the Japanese version. It is still fully functional. It still is fully functional in the US version. No, this is not a Pile Driver. It's not as good as Pile Driver. Pile Driver in BN4 is actually like really good. This is a crossover. It is pretty similar to Pile Driver, though. It has a similar range. The opponent needs to be in your row, but also not in the back column, so Django has room to spawn behind them. So its range is terrible. It uses 3 megas, Django 1, 2, and 3. But if you land the entire thing, it's like, I think 800 damage, 920. And I think also Django's Gondal Soul should at least like pierce defenses, so even if they had defenses, as long as they were in range, you should at least get like half of the damage from Django's Gondal Soul. Yeah, it's a huge amount of damage, but it needs, yo, what's up, TJ? Yeah, the Life Sword one's kind of controversial. There's some other people who would put it a lot higher. But yeah, I think like needing to use 3 mega chip slots for a PA with a terrible range is so bad. But the fact that if you have the range, Django's Gondal Soul would pierce Invis. No, it's not G tier. The G is just to show like how much better destroy pulses than all these other PAs. Yeah, I think I'll put crossover at the top of C. And, well, I guess that's it. I got it done in under an hour, which I'm kind of surprised about. But, yeah, no, Das, I've used crossover not even in EXE6, but in standard. Because the Django chips, they don't work. Those will crash the game. But crossover still works. Honestly, I should run it again. It's really funny. And the thing is, like, yeah, it's at the top of C. It's not like it's actually, like, OP or anything. It sucks. But, no, maybe Poison Pharaoh's better. You know what, like, Time Bomb Plus, ooh, Streamhead is, I don't know, like, yeah, these break PAs all suck. That's really funny that they made all three of them bad. I mean, Streamhead's at least, like, better than these other ones in D tier, though. I don't know, maybe Time Bomb, like, Time Bomb Plus is, like, so much setup, too. Like, yeah, no, I think that's good. I think that that this is the final list. Is Twin Leaders that bad? Is Twin Leaders really that much worse than Crossover? Actually, no, I don't think so. Like, the only thing Crossover has over it is that Django pierces defense with his Gondel Soul, yeah. So, yeah, no, this is the final list. I'm not changing anything else. Yeah, I guess Pit Hockey is sadly the worst PA, not counting like the weaker versions of Soup PAs. And yeah, so we got Destroy Pulse, of course, in S tier. Then we got Sun Moon and Power Wave 3 in A tier. We got a Great Yo-Yo Bodyguard, Flame Hook, Wide Burner, Corn Fiesta in B tier. We got a Poison Pharaoh, Crossover, Life Sword, Giga Cannon, Super Spreader, and Darkness in C tier. And then in D tier, we got Twin Leaders, Time Bomb Plus, Master Cross, Streamhead, Double Hero, Hyper Burst, Parashell, and Pit Hockey. And yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight. I'd definitely like to start doing more net battle streams again, and also maybe get back to speed running more. So maybe I'll do like a stream like on Saturday or something. We'll see. But yeah, that's gonna be it. And yeah, PAs did, I guess, get nerfed in 6, but the thing is, right, like in BN2 you had like OP PAs like Poison Pharaoh and Darkness and Gator, but like even in BN5 most PAs aren't really that good, except for like Poison Pharaoh and stuff like Big Noise. Like even in other games most of the PAs were bad, but like Poison Pharaoh was always really strong, but then we finally got nerfed in 6. Yeah, TJ, I'd get back to doing BN6 and maybe do a second run of Phantom Network. But yeah, let me see if there's anyone else online that I can raid. I don't really see anyone else that I could raid. Actually, I could raid Lahema. That would be funny. Is there anyone else streaming Battle Network? Yeah, I don't really see anyone else